Science fiction, altering life and humanity. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, or The Modern Prometheus, although first published in 1818, is considered to be the first science fiction novel because the central character makes deliberate choices and turns to modern experiments in the laboratory. Since then, science fiction has received different levels of acceptance in the scientific community, literature, and society in general. While in the 1950s science fiction was gaining popularity, it wasn't considered real literature. It was full of such insane ideas that it didn't hold any credibility, even though the stories and technologies were reflecting the ideas and projections of the times. Fortunately, these individuals that grew up reading those amazing stories of radical ideas, impossible ideas, wild and crazy stories of space adventures and strange aliens have given science fiction credible ground to stand on. As our technological understanding has increased, so has our ability to make many of those impossible things come true. What was once fiction is now part of everyday life. Designers can help bring an awareness to the public of how much of a benefit science fiction has been and can be. Instead of letting people read old magazines in a waiting room, create pamphlets on how robotic hands were inspired by Star Wars, or ads on a DVD telling about breakthroughs inspired by the movie someone is about to watch. Opportunities to inform and build awareness about the benefits of science fiction are everywhere. More than one commentator has mentioned that science fiction as a form is where theological narrative went after Paradise Lost, and this is undoubtedly true. Supernatural creatures with wings and burning bushes that speak are unlikely to be encountered in a novel about stockbrokers unless the stockbrokers have been taking a few mind-altering substances. But they are not out of place on Planet X. The form is often used as a way of acting out the consequences of a theological doctrine. The theological resonances in films such as Star Wars are more than obvious. Extraterrestrials have taken the place of angels, demons, fairies, and saints, though it must be said that this last group is now making a comeback. We want wisdom, we want hope, we want to be good. Therefore, we sometimes tell ourselves warning stories that deal with the darker side of some of our other wants. Literature is an utterage, or outering, of the human imagination. It lets the shadowy forms of thought and feeling, heaven, hell, monsters, angels, and all, out into the light where we can take a good look at them and perhaps come to a better understanding of who we are and what we want, and what the limits to those wants may be. Understanding the imagination is no longer a pastime, but a necessity, because increasingly, if we can imagine it, we'll be able to do it. Margaret Atwood, Why We Need Science Fiction.